What dream do you have that can't come true? What did you think of when you were 4, 5, 6, 7 years of age that is outside of your grasp? What is impossible for you to achieve? If you want it bad enough, if you're willing to fight for it, dreams really do come true. I'd like to tell you another story. About a month ago, I went to a funeral of a gentleman by the name of Washington Penn. Washington Penn, when he died, was 92 years of age. Now, I didn't know him extremely well, but I knew his children. Washington Penn was one of those old wise sages in the neighborhood. I don't know if any of you had the type of experience that I had, but growing up, every Saturday morning, I can't prove it to you now, but I used to go to the barber shop on a regular basis. But every Saturday morning, I had a fro. Every Saturday morning, I had to go to the barber shop with my dad. That was our thing. And I came to find out that on Saturday mornings, it was a wonderful classroom because I could sit in the corner of the barber shop and listen to the old men talk. And sometimes they crack on each other, but there was a dignity in the barber shop. Sometimes they talk about football or basketball, but there was a dignity in the barber shop. And it somehow, they taught me what manhood was by just looking at the way they carried themselves. Washington Penn was a member of the barbershop royalty. At the funeral of Mr. Penn, his children got up and they told stories that amazed me, and maybe they'll amaze you. I'm only going to tell you two. Destiny demands discipline. That's what I learned from Mr. Penn. How did I learn that? One of the stories that his children told me was at the funeral, Cheryl Penn, who is now an adjunct professor here, got up and she talked about the time she was 6, 7, 8 years old, and she came home crying. I hate math. I can't do it. This is too much for me. I don't want to go back to math class. Mr. Penn's response was to go to her closet, put her clothes in a suitcase, and put them on the front step. And then he told her, you are free to leave anytime you want, because in this house, we don't say what we can't do. That doesn't sound like a loving father to me. I don't know. Her sister, Paula Penn, was in the orchestra in the 7th grade, and she played the flute. And so she was excited, she was happy that she was going to invite her parents to hear the orchestra concert, and so they came to the concert, but there was a problem. Paula Penn was playing second chair. You see, Mr. Penn believed that destiny demanded discipline, and second chair wasn't good enough. And so what did Mr. and Mrs. Penn do? They got up and left the concert. And Paula had to walk home. Yeah. And when she got home, she was crying and she didn't understand, why did you leave the concert? And I had to walk home. And they told her, you didn't deserve a walk home. You didn't deserve a ride home. You needed to walk. How many of you think that that's too much? Yeah, that's what I thought too. But let me tell you what happened to Paula and Cheryl. Mr. and Mrs. Penn collectively never made more than $60,000 a year. But he primarily, with his bare hands, built a 4,000 square foot house in a very exclusive neighborhood. He sent both of his 2 girls to Columbus School for Girls. They both graduated from Wellesley College. Paula has a law degree from The Ohio State University. And Cheryl has a master's degree in international business from The Ohio State University. After Paula graduated from The Ohio State University, she went home to homeschool her 2 twin sons. They both got scholarships to Princeton and graduated from Princeton. Destiny demands discipline. And if you could look at anybody that you perceive to be at the top of their organization, at the top of their field, at the top of their game, I would imagine that they do things that we would say, that's too much. In his book, Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell chronicles what does it really take to be successful? What does it take to be phenomenally successful? And he says it takes 10,000 hours. See, the problem with most of us is we want the success, but we don't want to put in the 10,000 hours. There is a promise of potential, but maybe our potential takes 10,000 hours. And so we see Bill Gates as the CEO of Microsoft, but we didn't see the 10,000 hours of learning how to program, of learning what mainframes did, of learning what the whole industry was moving to. We see Michael Jordan. Well, you don't see Michael Jordan. You see LeBron James, because that's beyond your years. You see LeBron James taking a game-winning shot, and we say, what a champion, but we didn't see the 10,000 hours that he must have had in the gym by himself. We see Tiger Woods putting on a green jacket, but we didn't see the 10,000 hours. Discipline is the precursor of destiny.